Hello and welcome to the RetroMacCast with James and John, where in each episode we'll stroll down the Macintosh memory lane. We'll discuss older Macintosh computers, collecting all things related to the Mac and Apple computer, and current topics from the perspective that only a couple of old Mac fans can provide.
Good evening.
Hello,
everybody. I'm back. Thanks, John, for keeping it together. 2 weeks ago, I guess. We skipped last week, even though we're both around. I don't remember what it was. Enough for some reason not to follow through. But I did listen to the episode. It was a great episode. It was good to see David doing well, and
yeah,
congratulations to him for getting the documentary out there.
Absolutely,
that's out there on Vimeo and starring John and myself.
Superstar.
Yeah, I didn't. And he was saying something about signing like the bezel of a Lisa. Did you do that? I don't remember doing that.
I don't remember doing that, no. But it might have been that was more for the
actual
people who actually worked on the Lisa.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
That's my guess.
Huh. All right. Well, we are back, and let's see what's going on. Well, let's just go ahead and let's shoot this thing. What do you say?
Let's do it.
Do it. Let's go. 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the RetroMacCast with James and John. This is episode 674 for February 20. What is it? 12th. February 12th, 2024. I had a typo in my notes. I almost read February 212th, but that can't be right. February 12th, 2024. Good evening.
I know it's a leap year, but come on. Let's not get crazy.
Let's see. Yeah, we are back after a week off. This still being, I guess, all year is going to be the 40th anniversary of the first
Absolutely.
Year. Right. We thought we'd go back. And you know how we've been doing the time capsules. We look at, we go back. I guess we've been going at 30 years with Macworld, and then
20 years with Mac Addict. Yeah.
We can finally go back 40 years.
Yes.
With a magazine in Macworld. And so we're going to do that, kind of just commemorate that very first issue of Macworld, which is an amazing issue. Deserves to be talked about. So we've got that coming up. Lots of eBay finds and some news. Of course, all the news has been a buzz about Apple Vision Pro. And John asked me before we started here if I had gotten mine yet. I guess I hadn't made it clear that I was waived off on that purchase. So I am
denied.
As someone who's had like every first thing, I am sitting this one out for now. But I do have a plea. I haven't seen anybody out there. We've seen all these videos, right, of people using this thing and all the different cool things it can do. But I so far have not seen one use it to navigate a classic Mac OS, which I would love to see somebody doing that. I mean, they could just do it off their computer, right? They can use a display and then do it in the immersive environment or whatever. But to see somebody using eye tracking and pinching classic Mac OS to play a simple game or something like that, I mean, that's what I want to see. Because I would have done that by now if I had one. Maybe the listeners could pitch in and get it. Oh, there you go. So Steve Mac84 is saying the Macintosh library did a video about having an emulated System 6/7 on the Vision Pro. Really? Like actually running native on it through an app?
Well, I'm assuming running a mini VMac, but being able to do exactly like you said, just
right. But a mini VMac, is there a mini VMac iPad app? out there?
There is, but can't you also you can can't you mirror your actual Mac display?
You can,
in the
yeah,
Vision
but the way
Pro?
he said it made it sound like it was an actual native app. But what he
well,
is clarifying,
I guess we'll just have to go over to the Macintosh Librarian's website
or
and check it out.
read his comment. They did it in a browser, so the Infinite Mac website.
Oh, Infinite
so it was
Mac
in a browser.
website,
Yeah,
right?
So
yeah,
that's close enough. I guess that'll
I
be
need
fine.
to check that.
So, yeah, I gotta see it. So she has one. Oh my gosh, I'm missing out. Okay. Anyway, all right. I'll go find that. Track it down. All right. Let's come back with some eBay finds. Okay. Well, that is ultimately cool. But yeah, that's what I like doing, is seeing new hardware run old stuff. That's
right,
fun.
right.
And they missed a lot of opportunities, right? We had the Super Bowl over the weekend. I don't know if you caught it, but of course the Super Bowl brings back memories of the Macintosh introduction.
Yeah, it would have been it'd been pretty amazing if they'd done a commercial for the but yeah, I did not see that ludicrous display last night, so I don't know who played or who won. So
did you use ludicrous for a reason? Because ludicrous was there.
Oh no, that was a reference to IT Crowd.
Oh, okay. I thought it was a reference to Ludacris.
No,
who did perform. So
that's funny.
For me. Yeah, but if we had had the woman throwing the hammer and just you see her running and then realize that she's not even running at all. She's sitting there on her couch, like you were saying, wearing the Vision Pro. Anyway, let's see. Okay, we're gonna go to eBay finds. Let's get going in 3, 2, 1. Time now for the eBay finds. Last week, John had auctions for all his favorite Apple laptops.
Yep.
Including the Duo 280C. There were, I guess there were 34 of these sold, and there's still 5 available. They're $329.99
crazy.
a piece. Now, I was kind of curious that you put these up, because isn't this the notorious seller?
Yes. Yeah. Oh yeah. Polka dot warning. But for that Duo, it didn't seem that bad a price to me. So I put it up anyway. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, there's still, again, 5 available there.
Several.
Then the
Pismo.
The Pismo, this one sold on Wednesday, January 31st, for $268. It appears. I got that right.
That's pretty amazing, for it to get that much.
Yeah. Yep. And what do we got here? Oh, a titanium
book. Yes. The price of this one went for, holy cow.
Well, we don't know, because they took a best offer, and we don't.
Well, I know, but the max was only like 80 something, wasn't it?
$89.99.
Yeah, so that means somebody got it for less than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty crazy cool.
Right. Especially if like the hinges are in good shape.
The
screen looks like in good shape. Yeah, under $100, steal. Okay, and
absolutely.
Then the Key Lime iBook.
Had to throw in my fourth. Yeah.
The Key Lime iBook. $700 is the buy now.
Yeah, I know. Right. That is a pretty crazy price for that. A little high. It does have the leaf though, so it's got that going for it.
Yes. All right. This week we'll start with a poster. I did not know this existed in a poster, and we'll look at the details and see if somebody didn't just take the magazine ad and blew it up. But this is a poster of the Macintosh software team, which is a great poster because it features some historic figures, including Mr. Bill Gates himself. Picture. So what you've got is
who looks like he needed a hall pass to go get this photo taken.
Yeah, he was probably in his, I don't know, mid to late 20s. You've got Mitch Kapoor from Lotus and Fred Gibbons from Software Publishing Corporation. And it's an Apple poster, but featuring, 3 early developers of Macintosh software.
Right. Yep.
And there's a quote by each of them, and I'll read you the Bill Gates quote. It says, "To create a new standard takes something that's not just a little bit different. It takes something that's really new and captures people's imagination. Macintosh meets that standard." Bill Gates, chairman of the board and CEO of Microsoft Corporation. And there's little screenshots of each of the software that they develop and little descriptions. Actually, it's pretty much just a listing, right, of all the the companies.
Right, that we're supporting the right.
Yeah, it doesn't even have the titles of the software they're developing, just all the companies making software. And then it has a few screenshots. And we just got some pictures here, closest up the poster. This is 36 by 24 inches, and description says good condition, minor wear and small creases. It looks pretty legit.
Yeah, it doesn't look like a print from a magazine or anything like that.
No. Very nice. Starting off at a low bid of $99.99. I think it's worth that. Buy it now, $500. Yikes! Get a little steep.
Yeah, but I did notice, and I'm kind of surprised with that. Buy it now that there's no reserve, which means that somebody should be able to get this for $100 if nobody else bids.
Yeah, it ships from Wellsville, Missouri.
Has 4 days, 22 hours to go.
Is somebody going to bid live there? Mac 84, go for it.
All right. Next up, we have an Apple Macintosh Portable backlit display upgrade. What?
Yes.
Upgrade. Holy cow! I wouldn't have. Yeah, I would assume that this normally wouldn't be a user serviceable upgrade. I'm guessing this is going to require taking apart your Macintosh Portable. But yeah, you get a brand new in the box. I mean, it's been open, but it's got the box with it, display and a card necessary to attach that nicely brand new Macintosh Portable backlit display to your current portable. So let's see here. They'll be listing a 30-year collection. Oh, so these people are going to be listing some other stuff soon. And what else can we say? Lots of items, all the original boxes. I have to look and see what else they're selling. So right now this has got 7 bids. This is at $270. This still has 6 days to go.
Wow. This is exciting. I
Condition though is was told working condition. Will refund if has issues. So very nice.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it looks beautiful.
Oh, so beautiful.
So it's a backlit display upgrade, but it includes, it's the entire upper case, right? I mean, it's the entire clamshell top lid with the display and everything. So,
and then that daughter card looks like it plugs into one of the expansion slots.
Yeah,
looking at the angle on it.
Yeah, probably swaps out another card that's in there to just make sure that it gets the
proper power, right?
Get the backlight going.
Yeah.
This is quite a find. Yeah, I've never seen. I mean, I knew that the
Steve. This would make a great podcast episode. Steve, come on.
I knew they existed, but I'd never seen how they shipped on the box and all that. So really awesome. We'll see what that gets sold for. Okay, and speaking of early developers for the Macintosh, Microsoft Excel.
The complete spreadsheet with business graphics and database for Apple Macintosh.
Well, this one is sealed. The very first version of Excel, sealed in the box. My gosh. Here, say what you will about Microsoft, but they make some good products, and Excel's pretty good. That's just a nice. I actually have this, but not sealed like this, so it was tempting. And it's just $149.99 is the starting bid, or at least that's what the bid is up to. There is one bid to try to get that. Of course, this would have been on floppy disks, and I doubt you'd want to open this. Just leave that
Sure.
Sealed and intact like that. Let's see. Let's look at the back of the box and see little examples there. And you can work on big spreadsheets, 16,000 rows by 256 columns with macros. Oh my gosh, pretty full featured for the day. You can see the little graphs there, and wow, a lot of power in there. This one, when does it end? Sunday. So we'll find out next week how it went.
Yeah.
And we've got a bonus fourth one this week because we're going to be talking about this issue later.
So this is the Macworld magazine #1, the May-June issue. This is one with the Steve Jobs cover with the 3 Macintoshes in front of him. Figured I'd see kind of what they're going for. This one looks in really, really, really nice shape. I did find some more beat up ones going for around $70. This one does have it's a buy it now of $250. There is a or best offer, and it is pretty darn pristine. Yeah. But of course, you can also just, if you just want to read it, you can head over to Internet Archive and download yourself a copy. So,
right. Of course, we'll take a break and get back and talk more about this issue. Okay. Yeah, $250. I don't know. Can you tell? Is it easy to tell how long this has been sitting at this price? That's a good indication to see.
Now, I'm sure you probably have a few copies of this issue, don't you?
I do. Yes.
I have a copy of when they did the re-release of it. Do you remember that? They did a reissue.
Well, they didn't reissue the whole magazine. They just redid the cover, right?
The cover, yeah. Well, I think there was some stuff on the inside, kind of retrospective, if I remember correctly.
Oh, well, maybe I should have found. I know I have it, but yeah, it was like an anniversary, 25th anniversary or something like that.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, 25th anniversary. Yeah, I did get a number of those copies. Okay. Here we go. Let's go in 3, 2, 1. All right. Well, we're kind of celebrating the birthday of Macintosh all year long. And this time we're going to celebrate with the premiere issue of Macworld magazine. Sold for $4 on the newsstand, was handed out at the event where Macintosh was unveiled by Steve Jobs. I was reading about the story behind the photo. Of course, the photo is, this is the only time that Steve posed for a photo for Macworld. He appeared other times, but they were like press photos or whatever. This is specifically, he showed up to their studio for this event, but he resisted.
Sorry, wasn't there something about the, are you one of those photographers that takes 100 photos or something like that?
Yeah. Yeah. He resisted. He said he just was too busy, which probably a true statement, but eventually they got him in there, but in order to use as little time as possible, they set the whole thing up. They used a stand-in to get the lighting and whatever, so they could just drop him in. And then, he made that comment, you take hundreds of photos just in hopes you get the right one. And then he turned the photographer, I think he gave him 2 middle fingers and said, take a picture of this. But he leaned over, put his hands on the 3 Macs there in this iconic photo, and there you have it, the first issue of Macworld. You asked if I had any. I was a huge Macworld fan over the years growing up. I mean, I just waiting every month for that to come in, but I wasn't getting these issues back then. I didn't have a Macintosh until 88, and maybe you could have gotten back issues by 88 of the first issue. Probably not. I would imagine it would have been very difficult. There was a period when you could see order back issues of magazines.
Absolutely, but sure, yeah.
I doubt it went back 4 years. So and then even seeing this, you maybe if you went to a library or something, they might have it. So it wouldn't have been years later until I found out that this even existed, but did not have one. And then of course, when you start getting the used market and the eBay, and they start popping up, it's like, well, must have that. So I just started getting them and getting them and getting them and getting them.
Your backup copies in case the first one gets a flat. Yeah.
Sure. Right, because I just thought it was like it's such an awesome collectible thing, and I don't have that many. I don't know how many is a lot. Maybe 12. I don't know, 20. I don't. Maybe not 20. Between 12 and 20. This was and I'm certainly paying way less than $250 for them back when I was.
Oh sure, yeah, I'm sure you weren't.
These up probably. This was probably 20 years ago. When I was trying to get these things, but anyway, so there it is, Macintosh, Apple's remarkable new personal computer. And as you scroll through here, it's kind of fascinating to look at, especially the advertising of the products that have been developed, the hardware availability of peripherals. It's just there was, you always hear the stories about how there was no software and nobody was ready, and what would you do with the thing? But you look at this magazine and it tells a different story.
Sure.
Very first ad there is Microsoft. We just talked about Microsoft. And look at all the great software they have to make this. And that's the other thing, the big thing, right? You hear about, oh well,
it's a toy. It's not a
toy. It's not a business. You can't use this. But the first ad is multi-plan, chart, file, Word, Microsoft Basic. Very powerful productivity apps and business apps. And then you get into Tecmar with external hard drives already, and modems and interface cards for printing and controlling equipment. So a lot going on. I'm going to scroll through here a little bit. And this is actually a 2-pager here, but congratulations, Macworld, from the Macintosh team. And this is actually an Apple
photo
ad. And so they've got 2 photos here. This looks like the manufacturing folks. You can see the assembly line in the back there. And then this is everybody else. But yeah, it's a great photo because, of course, they've got the Picasso Mac flag that they're holding, and Steve there in the front posing with the Mac. And
there's lots of familiar faces in the background there, like Hertzfeld and
Hertzfeld. There's Susan Kerr right there.
Yeah.
Many of these folks were at the Computer History Museum event a couple weeks back, which if you haven't seen that, that's so fun to watch. And then as just a bunch of ads here, but and the other thing they did here is interesting. They took elements of the UI and incorporated them into the design of the Macintosh. So you get the little picture with the scroll bars, and we'll scroll through here and see all the kind of cool, a lot of training things. I've noticed a lot.
So that's I was going to mention that about this magazine. It's almost they could have just included this as a tutorial, because it's got. I mean, this was new for a ton of people. What is a mouse? So I mean, it goes through all the different elements that are on your normal Mac desktop. What a desktop is. It talks about the skeuomorphism. So it's got a great just kind of beginner tutorial on what the heck are you going to do with this new thing that you just got. It goes into all the Mac Write, Mac Paint. Talks about programming on the Mac. And one of the things that further in that I found interesting is, so I knew there was Microsoft Basic for it. And it was kind of, because I've been listening to like Advent of Computing, and it talks about, how Microsoft Basic basically ended up on everything, including things like the Applesoft Basic is just a Microsoft Basic that got bought and rebadged for Apple, and that was kind of their standard back then. But besides that, the Microsoft Basic, there was Macintosh Basic that was then bought by Microsoft and basically never made it out into the general public. Excuse me. They're all available over on Macintosh Garden still, which is kind of cool. But
here's a whole article on the Apple Mouse, because this is a whole new exciting thing to use to navigate your computer, and a great little MacPaint portrait of the kind of a cutaway of, or breakaway or whatever, exploded view, I guess it is, of Macintosh mouse. And parts of it and all that, and and you go back to the training. There was a lot of ads for third-party instruction manuals or training courses, all these things, because I guess that was sort of there's a huge industry of that, right? For regular computers, it was a big thing. That was normally, if you're going to get a computer before Macintosh, that was the things you first get the manuals and the training courses and whatever. Somebody's going to invest the time to train somebody. Of course, the Macintosh would break that mold.
Yeah.
Kind of eventually. But initially, people were sort of used to needing to know all this additional information to how to operate it. They would soon find out that maybe they could just figure it out, but they didn't know that quite yet. And some breakdowns here of the hardware and the insides and what
very
everything
thorough breakdowns, I have to say.
Yeah, and this was, Macro was kind of known for this for many years, right? Giving us really detailed, going beyond just users, but for the geeks, right? What do all these chips do? Very in depth of how everything works, so that you understand it from the most basic levels, including little dictionary here of common terms like motherboard, and network. And then there he is, Bill Gates, scruffy looking kid, polishing the Mac. Interview with Microsoft's Bill Gates. So talks about developing for the Macintosh. So really interesting stuff. I should go back and read it. I don't know if you can read it, if you can see if there's any inklings there that Windows something that he
that sentence at the end where he mentions that he's going to be releasing his own thing for the IBM soon, right?
Yeah. And then a review of MacPaint, the electronic easel. Imagine being an artist, not just any artist, mind you. Imagine being a computer artist with the kind of processing power computers have long applied to words, now extended to drawing and painting. Imagine that you can reach up onto a tool shelf and take down one of 32 different paintbrushes, dip it into one of 38 patterns arrayed on your electronic palette with a sweep of your hand, produce complex brush strokes and crosshatches and herringbones, zigzags and pinstripes, rattans and checkerboards.
I mean,
how many times did you use the rattan texture? Huh? Yes. Very popular.
So you look at the artwork that was done with MacPaint, and it is incredible considering there weren't things like layers, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And really, and one undo, and just some of the stuff that was done is just phenomenal.
Yeah, and a very tiny area on which to draw.
Yes.
Of course, one bit. Yeah, so you created colors, if you will, by simple textures and patterns, right? But that was game changing.
Absolutely.
I wonder. I guess I haven't seen too much of the demos of the Apple Vision Pro of people doing any kind of creative artwork stuff in virtual reality drawing. I've seen some cool music things being done. I haven't seen if anybody's identified like what is the MacPaint, right? Of Apple Vision Pro.
Right. Or you could use you can make your palette this big and you're using your whole hand as your brush.
Like throwing paint. Right.
Right. Yeah.
Cool abstract stuff, right? Without messing up your entire home. Look at these examples of MacPaint. This is about the level of artistry that I achieved in MacPaint, drawing different circles and filling them with patterns. Anyway, And then there's Bill Atkinson himself that came up with Mac Paint. Let me see. We'll scroll through here. Let's see anything of super note. And word processing. We talked about that. Yes, that's a thing. What you see is what you get. Look at that. And it's a good thing that in those earliest days, that what you got in terms of printing was on a dot matrix printer, which wasn't that much higher resolution than the screen itself.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
it kind of went hand in hand. Yeah. Because back then it was an ImageWriter 1, right?
Mm-hmm.
Probably printing on, which was originally made for the Apple II. And let's see, a lot of and of course it gave birth to the idea that if you were going to make any kind of document, you wanted to use as many of the fonts that were at your disposal
right
as you could.
That's it. Every other word, different font. That is good layout. That is good layout aesthetics.
Of course, you got spreadsheets. Are there any games in here that can't remember? We'll see. Did they talk about Alice?
I don't even see Alice in here anywhere. Yeah.
There's the ImageWriter I was talking about with the iconic woodblock print that Susan Kerr did in Mac Paint, and of course you can buy that artwork on her website now.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah. Big article on the ImageWriter. There it goes. The ImageWriter mirrors the Mac screens, text, and graphics. Yes. With that fancy high res. Yes. Oh my goodness. Look at that. That was incredibly amazing. And then here at the end, Macintosh products on the way or out, including Apple's own modems, external disk drive, which would prove to be indispensable, especially if you're going to copy anything. If you didn't have a hard drive. There's the carrying case. See that?
Mm-hmm.
And then the keypad, security kit. So a lot of little Apple accessories there. And then some from third parties, including diskettes and other stuff. And then more Macintosh software coming up by Apple. Mac Draw, Mac Terminal, Mac Project, Macintosh logo. Macintosh logo. That'd be a fun one to play with, right? I assume that's out there in the garden. But yeah, no mention. They wanted this to be taken seriously.
Yeah.
Is there any fun stuff other than drawing circles with Mac Paint? There's nothing.
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 I mean, at that time there was only the one game, right? Alice.
Well, I mean, but there was only the one game because they only enticed developers. Well, they did that themselves, but I mean, it's not. They certainly did not make an effort, I don't think.
No, to find a game developer, right?
Developers, make games available on day one. It was very business focused.
Absolutely.
Kind of boring,
Well, because it was also, still like what, over $2,500 for the machine. So.
Well, yeah, that's a big thing, right? Yeah, it's not. It's kind of out of the price range of most like home users, especially when you compare it to other home computers at the time. So
right, you're not getting one of these for your kid to play games on.
True, unless it's a rich kid.
Right. Yeah.
Anyway, let's go through here quickly here, but some cool programming.
Well, that's where it gets into talking about the programming. Yeah. Mac Pascal and Mac Basic and the Microsoft Basic.
Talking about languages and stuff. But anyway.
Yeah, so I mean it is a little bit dry, but Macworld almost is always a little bit dry.
It was very, very professional focus for
absolutely. Right.
Most of the run. Wasn't until later that the home users application started to become a little more dominant.
I have to say the amount of text versus advertisements is much better than certainly a few years later on in Macworld, where it's got about a 50-50, half articles, half advertising. Yeah.
there's a great article at the end called "The Making of the Macintosh," going behind the scenes at Apple Computer while the Macintosh was being created. So that's a good read right there.
It's got interviews with the Mac
key
team.
People.
Yeah.
In their own words, right? Andy Hertzfeld says, "I started on the Macintosh project in February 1981 when there was just one tiny wire-wrapped Mac, and all it could do was print hello about 85 times on the screen when you hit reset. We were excited to see it do even that. Wow, the computer actually does something. For the first 6 of the project, we worked on 3 things. First, we wrote routines to test the hardware. And anyway, there goes on. But there's Jerry Mannock, remember? Joanna Hoffman. Little tiny. There's Susan Kerr at her desk. So cool. Pearl Smith, you mentioned earlier. Chris Espinoza, the earliest employees, dates, and still at Apple, that started in the garage.
Wow. He's still there, huh?
Still there, 40 years plus. Yeah. Bill Atkinson. Anyway, look at that. There's quite a few people here that were at that event. Sadly, Steve Jobs was not, but there he is, in his own words, sitting there at his desk. So, yeah, and then at the end, a gallery here of various pieces of art done in what looks like Mac Paint, and that kind of closes out the issue. So, great little time capsule. You can find it on archive.org or track down your own physical copy because it's just a piece of history. Okay. We're going to do a little news and then we're going to wrap this thing up. Let's go in 3, 2, 1. All right. A little bit of news. So a couple weeks back. Oh, now I got to put the right screen on. A couple weeks back, David Grealish was on the show and talked about, before Macintosh, the Lisa documentary. And I just want to remind folks that they can go rent or buy it on Vimeo. And we'll post a link there. There it is. Also, we're celebrating the 15th anniversary. Can you believe this? Of Throwboy. And we've been tracking Throwboy since the beginning because we're older than they are. I mean, the show is. In commemoration of the 15th anniversary, Roberto is re-releasing or redoing, I guess, the Icon Pillow collection, which
handmade ones, right?
That's what they started off on.
Yeah.
And I've got the set up there on my cabinet. The original
set, huh? Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, I never thought we'd see these again. They're great. Their history, and there's a picture there of some of his original templates for making them. And these icons don't even exist anymore. They've morphed over the years.
Isn't that amazing? There's dashboard, right? Long gone.
The dashboard, right? Well, we have, what do we call that thing? It's not called the dashboard anymore.
Well, they have widgets now again, right? Desktop widgets.
We still have that thing. If I bring my figures together, oh, they were widgets. We don't have the widgets like that. That's right. Of course, the Mac OS smiley face, the original iTunes logo, which is now red, and then this is the iChat logo, right?
I thought it was FaceTime.
iChat AV. Huh?
Oh, okay. All right.
What did you think it was?
FaceTime?
Oh, no, this is way before FaceTime. This is iChat AV.
All right.
Which, eventually was replaced by a combination of really text and FaceTime. And then the original when it was iPhotos, when everything was this and that, right? So iPhotos. And then, crap, what's the What's the name of the thing? Does that still exist?
I was trying to remember what that thing was.
It's the little thing where you could take pictures of yourself.
Booth. Photo booth?
Photo booth. Does that exist? What happened to photo booth? Photo booth. Does that exist anymore? I was going to
photo booth. Yeah, it does exist. Still in there. So
the icon's a little
different
bit different.
icon. Yeah.
Yeah, the icons have evolved over the years, but there's photo booth. So anyway, the whole set is available $249. You can go. That's for all 6 pillows. You can go on throwerboy.com. And I just want to close out with one thing. You were saying last week that Apple did very little to commemorate the 40th anniversary of Macintosh, and that is true. They did not. The one little thing that they threw us was in Tim Cook's the social media site formerly known as Twitter. He posted this little animation, which is pretty awesome. I mean,
yeah, it is really cool.
I know that's it, but if you didn't see it, it's in the shape of an Apple logo. I mean, it's got the leaf is intact with 6 colors, and all 6 colors are represented just in the leaf, right? Because normally the leaf would just be the green part, the top of the green part of the stripe. And then the rest of it is composed of products throughout Apple's history, forming the shape of the rest of the apple. And a lot of them are animated.
Mm-hmm.
So there's the original Macintosh is there, and it's got hello writing on it in script. And then what other old stuff? We got the G4 iMac articulating, and there's
the clamshell iBook, I see.
Yeah, and it's changing colors.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You've got the colored iMacs in various colors. It switches. You've got the macOS logo that's changing and making faces to us. Claris is represented. The dog cow.
Nice. Where? I don't even.
Just below the
I
leaf.
see it. Yep, very tiny. Yeah.
Yeah. What other old stuff there? I'm looking around. An old original Macintosh mouse is there. It's just fun. I mean, I just love it. Just so creative what they did with this. What is help me understand this?
The numbers?
The numbers. What does the numbers mean?
I don't know.
Oh, is that counting to 40?
Oh. Yeah, but is it showing it in conjunction with something like year?
Yeah. It's not counting by one. It's
5, 6,
skipping
7, 9, 12, 23, 25, 31. Yeah. It ends with 40.
I don't know what that means. Anybody got any ideas? And of course, it's got some newer stuff in there too, rounding it all out. The Mac Mini Studio and the new iMacs, and yeah, I really like it. If only like an icon of Steve Jobs would have popped, the original.
Yeah, the original Susan Kerr.
Yeah,
that would have been kind of cool.
If he would have popped in and said hello. Anyway, so that's the only place I saw it was on Tim Cook's X feed, or Twitter, as they say. All right. Okay. Good. So the numbers, somebody got to figure out the numbers. All right, we're ready to close it out. Are we back next week? Can we commit?
I'm here. I'm here next week. Yep.
I am too. All right, let's and I don't know, we don't have a topic offhand, but we'll figure something out. Maybe we'll spend the whole episode just on that little animation.
This episode, we delve into the numbers.
We go deep. All right, let's go in 3, 2, 1. All right, that wraps up another episode of the RetroMacCast. Next week, we do pledge to return and make it 2 in a row with the as yet to be determined topic. So we'll figure something out. Anything else we need to talk about, John?
Nope. Go watch
the Computer History 40th event. Go watch the Before Macintosh documentary. That's it. Those are your assignments. And until next week, remember, it's not old.
It's retro.
Aha. See, you and David did not say it last week.
See, yeah, man, I just messed things up last week.
Okay.
That's what happens when I'm unsupervised.
All right.
Garth brings up a point
about,
you know, what he finds interesting, what graphics that they decided to show and not show.
Yeah,
I thought it was weird that the one Mac Pro that they highlighted was the cheese grater and not like maybe the original blue and white, Mac Pro.
Yeah, and the animations are curious too because the cheese grater, like you said, the front panel doesn't remove like that, right?
No.
Or does the whole case come off like that? I mean, does that animation reflect any reality?
No.
Does the case come off like that? I don't know. Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just it just causes you to just kind of look and like study each thing. It's like looking for how it animates. Does everything animate? I don't think so.
No, because I don't think I don't see the original Macintosh mouse moving at all.
Did you see Claris's tail is moving? See now I'm just
it is, yeah. I need a higher res version of this.
The mouse does not do anything, huh?
Oh, and you know what? What is that? What is that to the right of that's a charger. That's an AC/DC adapter. That's the prongs coming down to plug in. Okay.
Or it's a an airport, the little portable airport thing. I think that kind of looked like that too.
Okay.
In fact, I think that's what it is because it's got the contrasting logo. I don't think a power plug has a contrasting logo like that. Almost, everything, the Safari logo does not move. Oh, there it goes up.
It bounces up and down.
So maybe everything does animate except for the mouse. What is the underneath the Mac Pro? There's like a grid of 9 little boxes. What is that?
I mean, it just looks like a bunch of little icons, but
the colored little 9 3x3 grid of boxes. I don't know what that is.
What's the that's not like the icon for like Launchpad or something, is it?
Oh, maybe it is.
I've never used Launchpad, but I think it may.
Oh, okay.
I'm guessing.
Huh. All right.
Launchpad. That is the Launchpad icon.
Okay, it is.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Anyway, cool.
All right.
I could stare at that all day. It's mesmerizing. All right. Well, thanks everybody for stopping by and joining with us. Oh, and a special hi to, I didn't see the Macintosh librarian was here.
Yep, and
so
Garth.
We were talking about the showing classic Mac OS through Apple Vision Pro, which is something I regrettably can't do myself.
So we need to check out your episode on that Macintosh librarian.
All right. We'll see you next week, and we'll play us out with a little music.
It's a jaunty tune.
And say goodbye.
Bye.
See you next week.
Thanks for listening to the RetroMacCast with James and John. Email listener comments and questions to retromaccast@gmail.com or post comments on our website at www.retromaccast.com.